Hello, my name is Alex and I'm gonna talk about the Triz method. So, let's get started. Triz is a problem-solving philosophy based on logic, data, and research rather than on intuition. Its approach brings repeatability, predictability, and reliability to the problem-solving process and delivers a set of dependable tools. Next, we're going to talk about a little bit of the history and the name of the Triz method. It is the Russian acronym for the theory of inventing problem solving, an international system of creativity developed in the USSR between 1946 and 1985 by engineer and scientist Heinrich S. Altschuler and his colleagues. The universal principles of creativity form the basis of innovation. The Triz method is telling us that whatever the problem you're facing, somebody, somewhere has already solved it, or one very like it. Creativity problem solving involves finding that solution and adapting it to your problem. Next, we have the most useful roles in which the method can be seen, such as product development for new ones, design engineering as for cars in the aerospace departments, and the process management. For example, in Six Sigma quality improvement processes often make the use of Triz to improve their quality services. Now we're going to take a look at the two of the central concepts behind the Triz method. Problems and solutions are repeated across industries and sciences. What it's telling us right here is that in larger companies, there's always going to be a solution and there's always going to be problems. So by anticipating that, you can also anticipate the solution in a very creative form. Next, we have patterns of technical evolution tend to repeat themselves across industries and sciences. Creative innovations often use scientific effects outside the field where they were developed. Using Triz consists of learning these repeating patterns of problem and solutions, understanding the contradictions present in a situation, and developing new methods of using scientific effects. You then apply the general Triz patterns to the specific situation that confronts you and discover a generalization of the problem and eliminating those contradictions. Next, we have two categories of contradictions. We have the technical contradictions. When something gets better, something else usually gets worse. Just a little example, training is comprehensive, good, but it keeps employees away from their assignments. The bad. The next contradiction would be the physical one. These are situations in which an object or system suffers contradictory opposite requirements. Just having a small example again, everyday examples. Software should be complex to have many features, but simple to be easy to learn. Next, we have the Triz problem solving method. As you can see in the image, first we have our specific problem. Then we're gonna look for the Triz general problem that's similar to the one we have. And then we're going to look for the general solution that problem had in another place or another person discovered, for that matter. Then we're going to apply that general solution and adapt that solution to our specific problem to generate our specific solution. How to use Triz principles. First, we have define your specific problem. What is the problem that we're facing to encounter? What is the main thing that we want to find the solution to? What is bothering us? What is our barrier? First, before we do anything else, we have to know for sure what specific thing we're trying to fix. Once we know that for sure, we can go ahead and pass to the second one. Then, once we have already defined what is our specific problem, we are going to see and look for the generalized problem that matches into the 4 principles. We're going to see which one do we need to find. Is it a financial? Is it a technical? Is it one of them has to fit into the problem that we have. Once we have located our problem into the 40 principles, the third one will be to find the generalized solution that solves the generalized problem. Meaning that once we know all of the first and second step, we're going to try to look for the solution that somebody else in another place had already solved and see how it matches to our problem. Once we have the generalized solution to cover our problem, we are going to have to adapt the generalized solution to solve our problem specifically, to see how we're going to change the original one to cover our necessities or the ones the company needs, or that specific problem needs to be changed in order for the generalized solution to be able to be adapt and work in our proper way, in the way that we need it to be. Just to have a little bit more of understanding on how specifically the Triz method works, we have an example. So consider the specific problem of a furniture store in a small building. The store wants to attract customers, so it needs to have its goods on display, but it also needs to have enough storage space to keep a range of products ready for sale. So by using the Triz, we can see that establish that the store has a physical contradiction. The furniture needs to be large to be useful and attractive, but also small to be stored in as little space as possible. Using Triz, the store owners generalize this contradiction into a general problem and apply one of the 40 principles of problem solving. They find a viable general solution in a principle 1 segmentation. This advocates dividing an object or system into different parts, or making it easy to take apart. This could lead the owners to devise flat pack versions of their furniture so that the display models can take up the room that they need, while inventory occupies much less space per unit. This is the specific solution. So as we can see in this example of the furniture store, they use versions of furniture that were flat pack, which means they were put in a box that they have to be assembled by the person that buys it, by the customer. So all of those boxes were in storage, but the ones that were in display were already assembled, so the customer could see how the final product would look without taking all of the space that the store has. So the Triz method is very useful in these kind of situations where you need a very specific solution for a very generalized problem, which is space or a matter of like this store that it needs. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Until the next one.